Good evening. Today is Monday, the 14th of February, 2022. It's St. Valentine's Day. What do we know about St. Valentine? Well, not much, actually. Records seem to indicate that there are at least two Saints Valentine, one from Terni, in Umbria, about 60 miles northeast of Rome, and Valentine of Rome. There's also another Valentine from the same era from North Africa. Over time, the devotion to St. Valentine has spread all over the world. There are stories about how he became associated with the idea of lovers and love. Some of the stories are quite fantastical. The city of Terni in Umbria claims to have the relics of his body. The Basilica of Santa Maria in Cosmedin in Rome claims to have his skull, which you can actually see if you go there. It's traditional for those people looking for a life partner to go and light a candle before the shrine of St. Valentine in that basilica. In the city of Terni itself, the custom is to decorate with oranges, for some reason, on the feast of St. Valentine, the 14th of February. Legend tells us that both Saints Valentine of Terni and of Rome died on the 14th of February in the year 270, executed by command of the Emperor Claudius II. And that the custom of sending valentines, according to the legend at least, originates with Valentine himself, who while in prison instructed his jailer's daughter, known by various names, how to communicate. She was blind. And before he died, he sent the daughter a little note saying, "From your Valentine." The legend continues that her blindness was healed so that she could read the note herself and not have someone else read it to her. Be that as it may, the concept of love in Christian faith is central, and I'd like to share with you a short essay by Michael Casey, an Australian Cistercian monk, entitled A Torrent of Love. The book of Genesis tells us that at the conclusion of every stage of our world's creation, God paused and found that the result was good. The crowning of creation was the appearance of human beings, man and woman. This God found to be very good. The whole of creation was a source of delight to God. Some preachers give us the impression that God is rather disappointed in us and in our world, and not only disappointed, but angry and vengeful. They want us to believe that God has lost hope in us because of the mess we have made in our own lives and in the world, which is our home, and that all we can expect from God is close scrutiny leading to ultimate punishment. And so when we hear in the Psalms that God looks down from heaven on all the children of the earth, we may experience a sense of dread that God is watching to catch us out, to catch our every wrong move, and eventually to extract revenge. That is what Job felt. He thought he was being surveilled and persecuted by God without just cause. Will you not look away from me for a moment and leave me alone long enough to swallow my spittle? Job 7:19. For those who think like that, the many psalm verses that speak of the inescapable watchfulness of God are terrifying. Lord, you search me and you know me. You yourself know my rising and my resting. You discern my thoughts from afar. You know when I walk or lie down. You know all my ways through and through. Before ever a word is on my tongue, you know it, O Lord, through and through. Psalm 139, 1-4. But the all-seeing eye of God should be for us a source of consolation rather than of alarm. God is not only watching us, God is watching out for us, making sure that we come to no harm. This is the God who knows of what we are made, who remembers that we are but dust. Psalm 103, verse 14. Perhaps the best image of God's watchful regard for us is that of a parent watching through a kitchen window, watching children at play in the backyard. It is not police surveillance, though it does have a safeguarding purpose. Mostly, however, it is a matter of the parent taking delight in watching the children play. The children may not be fully aware of it, but a torrent of love is pouring through that kitchen window, enveloping them in tender concern. This is how God's providence acts in our regard, giving us each day our daily bread, and ensuring that, whether we recognize it or not, all things are working together for our ultimate welfare. God comes to our assistance, not with a sigh of weary reluctance, but because this is what God does. This is what delights the heart of God, to come to the aid of those who are falling. Meanwhile, as Julian of Norwich wrote, the sweet eye of pity never departs from us, and the working of mercy never ceases. I wish you a pleasant evening.